This is the Four-Man Rush. So, get 20% off and free shipping with the code 4MRSCAPED20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. And use code 4MRSCAPED20. It's 2021, folks, and you still got bush. Change that with Manscaped. Hello, Panther fans, and welcome to another podcast of the Four-Man Rush. This is episode 95, and we're going to be talking to some podcasters from the Colts organization, because you guys know we're going to run up against the Colts here this weekend, and obviously we'll be joined here by the Four-Man Rush crew, and we'll talk Panthers football. So welcome. This is the Twitter, Facebook Live recording, of course, as we always do it. From here on out, man, and welcome to the Four-Man Rush podcast. Appreciate it. So, welcome, folks. Welcome. Get this ticker up here. Of course, the Four-Man Rush podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. If you guys are not familiar with Manscaped, you need to get with it. I'm just saying. Give you an idea what they got, man. So, these are some of the products that they have. Now, they have a really good razor. They have a cologne, actually. This item here is a foot duster, right? So for you guys with the funky feet, it's still hot outside, fellas. Hot or cold. Anyway, your feet sweat. It gets stinky sometimes. So that foot duster is pretty good stuff. Of course, we have the cleansers, like their body wash. Good stuff. They have some wonderful stuff, man. If you'll head over to their website, the manscaped.com is, I was going to say the Four-Man Rush. It's www.manscaped.com. If you use our code of 4MRSCAPE20 right there on your ticker, that's the code you punch in when you check out. You'll save 20% off on your entire purchase, and it gets shipped to you for free. If you order from them directly, you pay for shipping. So if you use that code, it'll be free shipping and 20% off. So enjoy that. They have a 4.0 package deal now because they have a new trimmer for the fellas in the man regions, so to say. So hey, check them out, man. It's great stuff. I've already re-upped on a couple of products myself. So hold on here. What's good, Panther Nation? Wild Man Kev has been crushing it at camp. Yeah, he has, Bill. He has. He really has, man. He's been writing up some great stuff. Oh, Jordan working out. Look at it. Look. Just get swole, Jordan. Let's go, Jay.
That boy gonna look like Booker T in a second.
He said Booker T.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Luke Cage here.
Oh no, folks. Wild man himself.
You gonna get a Colts fan a hard time?
He is.
Oh my god.
Kaboom. Guess who stepped in the room? How do you feel about last year's draft? You talking about this year or last year?
Last year? Derek Brown looked like he's a hit. Gross Motto's got a lot to prove. Chin looks like he's a hit. Troy Pride and
I'm gonna be nice.
Who else we got?
Stanley Thomas Oliver.
Yeah, he went up the depth chart. You over Troy Pride now?
He moving up.
Oh shit.
Kenny Robinson is, I think, backup free safety, so he's moving up the depth chart. Who else we got? Bravion Roy. He's gonna be in the rotation, so he's a good pick so far. Not a bad draft.
No one at all.
I said the only one looking like a miss is Troy Pride, and he's on a 7th-string corner. That was surprising to me.
Ain't surprising to me.
7th string.
Look, I ain't surprised at all.
JaDarius had him under the microscope, boy. Like, I don't know about this kid. You know what I'm saying? There's Drew. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew.
How's it going, guys?
All right, how you doing,
good, man?
What's up?
Welcome.
What's up?
I'm excited to be on your show. I was watching you guys a little bit earlier, and you guys got good stuff. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Likewise, bro. Likewise. Appreciate it. Are you just gonna be you tonight? I know there's 2 of you guys, right?
Yeah. Brandon couldn't make it tonight, but just me. He might be able to make it a little bit later. He wasn't sure, but as of now, just me. But I'm excited to talk about the matchup with you guys.
Heck yeah, man. It'll be cool, bro. Hell yeah. Well, since we got you on here, Drew, go ahead and give our fans a little backdrop on what you guys do on your podcast.
Yeah, so we're called the Educated Fan Podcast. We're the Colts-centric podcast for the Pigskin Podcast Network. We talk about all things Colts football. We even dabble into some sports betting, talk about news around the NFL, but mainly just focus on the Colts. And as you guys probably know, you guys have had a big off season. We've had a pretty big off season as well. So just excited to actually see football start and get the games going.
Man, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Football is among us, folks. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Now I mean we don't follow the Colts like that. But so what are the key pieces that you're seeing as coming out of the Colts camp right now?
Well, obviously, we all know about the injury news to Carson Wentz, and that's really what's taking over the news right now is if he's going to be ready for the start of the season, or are we going to have Jacob Easton or Sam Ellinger, or is there going to be a trade or a signing for a veteran quarterback? There was good news on the Carson Wentz injury front today. Now, the timeline is 5 to 12 weeks. He had a surgery last week, but he was seen at practice today, and he wasn't even wearing a boot. No limp, no noticeable sign that he really even had surgery. So, and Frank Reich did say in his media availability that's a good sign. They're still not going to say a firm timeline till probably next week or maybe the week after, but the fact that he's at practice 8 days after surgery, no boot, no limp, it's a good sign. And then really just kind of seeing who's going to end up as the quarterback, because we've talked about it on our show. We really don't think there's going to be a move for a veteran quarterback. It's really probably going to come down to Jacob Easton or Sam Ellinger. So it's going to be a fun battle to watch throughout the rest of camp and the preseason to see who might possibly be filling in until Wentz can come back. Dig
it. Now, I know we've talked about the Colts offensive line extensively. For over the past couple of seasons, man, you guys got some bullies up front. So that's gonna be a good test for our front going. Even though it's still preseason, I mean, we got a pretty aggressive front, and I know we're gonna be throwing in some blitz packages going throughout the year and things of that nature. But yeah, that Colts O-line is special. Speaking of offensive lines, our offensive line specialist Kevin Avery's in the building right now.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's up, Kevin? Kev, this is Drew.
What's
from
up,
the
Drew?
Educated Individuals. Yeah, man. He's willing to join us, man, and he's going to drop some knowledge about the Colts. He's already talking about the quarterback situation so far, and I just brought up the offensive line situation. Now, we always talked about the offensive line for the Colts. Like, man, if we could get some shit like that, man.
Well, you guys are catching us at the right time because Eric Fisher is still recovering from his Achilles injury, so he's on the PUP list. Quentin Nelson, the day after Carson Wentz had his injury, Quentin Nelson had pretty much the same exact injury, so he's out 5 to 12 weeks. He was also at practice today, no boot, no limp, so that's a good sign. And then Ryan Kelly, our Pro Bowl center, he has a hyperextended elbow, so he's going to be out at least this week too. So really, you're going to see 2/5 of the starting offensive line for the Indianapolis Colts. We got Mark Lewinsky still at right guard, and Braden Smith at right tackle, who just got paid a 4-year, $72 million deal to be the second highest right tackle in the league. Wow. But you guys, the defensive line and the defensive front for the Panthers is definitely going to give this Colts, especially the backups, a test. I think Brian Burns, however long he plays, is going to probably have some good success, especially if he lines up on the left side going up against Sam Tevy or Will Holden. Derek Brown's in there. I was a huge fan of Derek Brown coming out of Auburn. So you guys got some young studs there on the defensive line.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Will, JD, you guys have anything you want to mention?
Yeah. What about on the other side of the ball? You got Christian McCaffrey, Darius Leonard going to get some reps against each other one-on-one. I know he just signed a big contract there.
Hey, buddy.
Kind of one of your core pieces going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see it. I'm not exactly sure how long or how much Darius will end up playing, because it seems like all the stars on the Colts are banged up. He's coming off of an ankle procedure that he had in the middle of the summer. He just came back to practice today. Looked good. Wasn't hampered by it or anything. So we might see Darius for a series or two. I mean, he's itching to get out there. But I think Christian McCaffrey is going to have to worry about DeForest Buckner more than Darius Leonard this weekend. So DeForest Buckner is ready to go out there and eat. So it's going to be exciting to see, because, I mean, we all, as fans of football in general, got gypped out of seeing Christian McCaffrey go out there last year with his injury. So I'm excited to see him get back on the field. And I think it's going to be a good matchup to see him go up against DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, and first-round pick Kwity Paye along that defensive line.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Right. Drew knows his shit. I like it.
Hey, I try. You got to keep educated. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Of course, you have some of our fans giving you guys props, your O-line and things of that nature. What's the Colts defense looking like this year?
It's got potential. It really does. I mean, when you got, like I said, DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard, and then one of the most underappreciated guys in the league, in my opinion, is Kenny Moore in the slot. And he's not only just a slot cornerback, but the guy can do everything. Matt Eberflus, the Colts defensive coordinator, uses him off the edge in a blitz. Kenny Moore, when the Colts are in their base defense, he still goes and plays outside corner, then shifts inside to nickel when they go to or a dime. He's out there 100% of the time. Those are our big three, because the Colts run a modified style of the Tampa 2 defense. So the three most important positions in that defense is the 3 technique, where DeForest Buckner plays, the will linebacker position, where Darius Leonard plays, and then the nickel corner, where Kenny Moore plays. So you've got pretty good players at all those positions. As far as on defense, again, the pass rush is very young. Justin Houston and Denico Autry left in free agency. We have Kwity Paye, first-round pick, starting on the right end. Tyquan Lewis, a guy out of Ohio State who's going into his 4th year. He started out his career slow, but I think he has the potential to be a starter. We lost Anthony Walker, free agency. Time for Bobby Okereke, kid out of Stanford, to step up at that Mike linebacker position. True. And then as far as the biggest question mark, I think, on the Colts defense is their number 3 corner, their other outside corner. Because you got Kenny Moore in the slot, you got Xavier Rhodes on the other side, and then there's that one outside corner. And right now it's been Rock Ya-Sin, a guy out of Temple, for the past couple of years, but he's been very inconsistent. And the Colts want to see more out of him if he wants to keep that job. So that's probably the biggest battle on this defense so far, and probably the weakest spot on this defense is that outside corner position.
Interesting. You don't want to be weak at that position going against the Panthers.
Work cut out for him this week with that's DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, rookie Derek Marshall's having a great camp. Shi Smith, another rookie, surprisingly having a great camp, creeping up the depth chart. So those one-on-one wide receiver cornerbacks during these joint practices will be fun to watch.
True.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that, while I say that the pass rush for the Colts is young, they've really been standing out in camp. I mean, not only Kwity Paye making noise, Kamoko Toure, who was drafted in the 2nd round of the 2018 draft class with Darius Leonard and Braden Smith, he's got flashes. He shows flashes of being a dominant pass rusher. The kid just can't stay healthy. He broke his ankle in 2019, and it took him pretty much all of last year to come back to full strength. He's been having a good camp. Ben Banigou, a guy out of TCU, he's before the year started, I thought he was a fringe roster player, and he's just come out and absolutely dominated camp. So we've got a lot of young guys on the edge that Chris Ballard has used significant draft capital in. It's just, and I think that's one of the big reasons why Justin Houston and Danico Autry weren't re-signed, is because it's time for these guys to prove it. It's time for the Colts to see whether they're going to be able to lean on these guys in the future or not. And if not, then they've got to hit the road. So, but so far the returns are good in camp, but now we got to see it in the game. So that's one of the big things I'm going to be watching on Sunday, and then throughout the rest of the preseason.
Yeah. Will it translate? Will it translate? Well, yeah, that's the good stuff right there. JaDarius, Kevin, you have anything you want to ask Drew or add?
Yeah. Immediately, one of the first things that caught my eye when he was talking about the cornerbacks. First of all, I love the two nickel cornerbacks. They got TJ Carey behind the top guy, Kenny Moore there. So fan of both of those guys. But I'm looking at your skill positions on offense. Running back, all top three guys, it looks like, have go-get-it ability, home run hitters, solid players. I'm seeing Paris Campbell, Tyler Vaughns, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr., all these guys can play ball. So how are you feeling about your offensive skill positions?
We'll start with the running back position. I feel great about the running back position. I think the Colts have potentially a top 3 running back group in the league. When you're talking about Jonathan Taylor, who really came on last year, and especially in the second half of the year, ended up 3rd in the league in rushing. You have Nahim Hines, who a lot of people thought was a gadget player coming out of college, and he's turned into a guy that, even though he's 5'9", he can run between the tackles with the best of them. He packs a powerful punch. And then Marlon Mack coming off an Achilles surgery, but in the days I've been to camp this year, it doesn't look like he's lost a step. Marlon Mack reminds me so much of Le'Veon Bell in the Steelers days because of his patient running style, his ability to do that one cut, hit the hole, and be able to burst and just go. So when you have a rotation of those 3 guys and you can really put them in all kinds of different situations, keep them fresh, keep the legs underneath them, it just opens up so many things in the running game, which I think for the Colts to be successful and for Carson Wentz to be successful, that's what the Colts are going to need. As far as the wide receiver position goes, I think the sum is greater than the individual parts, because you have T.Y. Hilton, the former Pro Bowler. I will admit T.Y. Hilton isn't the receiver that he used to be, but when you turn on the game film, defensive coordinators still greatly respect T.Y. Hilton. They're still rolling coverage to T.Y. Hilton. They did that all in the beginning of the year, and then when you started to see maybe the last 3 quarters of the season, teams started to go away from that. T.Y. Hilton would burn them. The game against Houston, which we say that's the house that T.Y. Hilton built pretty much, because he part-time owner of the Houston Texans, against the Oakland Raiders, or the Las Vegas Raiders, had a big touchdown there. So if you don't respect T.Y. Hilton and you don't pay him any attention, he's going to burn you still.
That's true.
Michael Pittman Jr., I think, is a guy that could take a huge leap this year for the Colts. He's just he was a little hampered last year with the leg injury coming out, but then towards the end of the year, you started to see what the Colts were so excited about within him. Big wide receiver that can win over the middle, has great run after catch ability, which Frank Reich loves in his offense, and a guy that could really do everything, and he's shown that in camp. And then you talk about Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell is a guy that just has blazing speed, an incredible playmaker. Again, the kid just can't stay healthy. I think he's played in 9 out of a possible 32 games, and they've all been really freak accidents too. So I think if he can stay healthy, the Frank Reich is going to use him in a variety of different ways. Zach Pascal's the do-everything wide receiver. He just does everything right. He's not spectacular at anything. He's a master of none, but he's just good at everything too. He's probably the best blocking wide receiver for the Colts. So when you're talking about the wide receivers, like I said, we don't have like a Julio Jones, a Michael Thomas, a Mike Evans. But when you put those guys together and the way the Colts spread the ball around, whoever you're going to dictate or whoever you're going to focus the defense on, the Colts are just going to go a different direction. And I think that's what Frank Reich really wants in his team. And he thinks the offense is better suited for that with the players they have and what he wants to do. So, like I said, not necessarily a game breaker at wide receiver, but you still have to make sure you're on your P's and Q's if you want to keep up with this team.
Yeah.
Right on. Kev, you have anything to add or?
Well, I'm just catching in what's been discussed. I don't know if y'all mentioned this or not. I see former Panther on the Colts offensive line, Chris Reed, joined y'all in the offseason. I had noticed that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was signed back in March. We had claimed him off waivers from the Dolphins towards the end of the 2019 season. Got a few starts. He bust some heads. He got his head busted a few times. I mean, just just to summarize it all up. But I definitely say I'm definitely disappointed in the hearing the injuries to the Colts offensive line, because I was really looking forward to seeing, the clash of the Titans in the trenches. That's what I live for. Me and Larry, that's just our lifeline and our blood, man. I mean, when you think about a generational talent like the Colts have, on the offensive line with Mr. Quentin Nelson here. I mean, I was looking forward to him and, Dare Brown locking horns, you know what I'm saying? And, Ryan Kelly going against, Daquan Jones and Braden Smith, you know what I'm saying? He even I heard he's going to play, him going against the likes of Brian Burns, or if we flip him on the other side, Hassan Reddick, even our young pup, your Tier Gross Matos. So, definitely hope, wish them a speedy recovery, and time recovery. One thing I will say that we know here all too well in Carolinas, anytime any type of lineman, offensive, defensive lineman get any type of lower extremity injuries, it usually is something it's tough to regain that pre-injury form. You can rehab it all you want, but it's I don't know, man. It's like drinking flat Pepsi. It's Pepsi, but it ain't got it ain't got the fizz. It says Pepsi. It's got all the ingredients of Pepsi.
Look like it.
But it's that bottle of Pepsi that's been sitting in the back of the church for God knows how long, that they bring out the service. So what they call Jared, that repass.
That's about that, right?
Flat.
Yeah, but just ain't the same. But overall, I still think these joint practices really going to be something to enjoy. I still think it's going to be some good trench work being done. It's a lot of unproven guys on both sides. You was talking about you say name Andrew, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you was talking about how only going to be 2/5 of y'all line. Well, honestly, we put our starting five. It feel like our starting five can match your 2/5, because we got some, we got some concerns that concern me, because
that's true, man.
Taylor Moton, will he play left or right? And I'm all for
Christ.
him, staying on right. I mean, just because he gets left tackle reps, a few here and there. That's you want position flexibility, because you just never know what could happen, and fans say, oh, he just got the big contract. Oh, that means he must play left. Well, these days and times, in my opinion, right tackle is pretty much on the same verge as left tackles, because teams have learned to move their best pass rusher to attack against whichever is the weaker of the offensive lineman. It's not everybody just stay in the same position the whole game anymore. They move around. So you got to have, elite blocking from your right tackle just as much as your left. In a sense, with Taylor Moton, since he's been a right-sided player ever since he was at Central Michigan, it was either right tackle or right guard. Leave him on that right side. Let that left side, grow up and take licks. I mean, hell, we haven't had a solid left tackle since 2013. So, so as the world turns, that's how it is. my guy, y'all know who I've been beating the horn for is Trent Scott out of Grambling. That's the one that I want to see, make a name for himself. Especially since his brother got waived and picked up by the freaking Jets. I'm still feeling some kind of way about that. David Moore, but now we just got 2 David Moores left on the team instead of 3 now.
Yeah,
yeah, we're down to 2. But yeah, man, I'm looking for some clashes. I hope it's, we don't see what we see on TV where, fights and stuff break out with others. Like, what was that one that I saw broke out on TV? The Giants. What was it?
Yeah, the Giants had a huge brawl, and Daniel Jones was on the bottom of that pile. And then
are you serious?
Joe Judge made the entire team just run sprints for quite a long time after practice. So good for Joe Judge. That's because you can understand it when there's these joint practices. If something happens, there's a little skirmish here and there. But when your own team is going into a full-out brawl and you're supposed franchise quarterbacks on the bottom of it, that can't happen. So good for Joe Judge for taking control of that situation in a hurry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. But the Panthers are 1-0 when our quarterback gets into a fight. We do go to the Super Bowl. So I need to find Sam Darnold, somebody to kind of
And honestly, I'm excited to see Sam Darnold for you guys when the whole will the Colts trade for Carson Wentz or won't they? When after Phillip Rivers retired, we were going through all the options. And honestly, I was a fan of Sam Darnold. I thought the situation in New York was just absolutely terrible for him. He needed a fresh start. He's got that playmaking ability. And I saw him last year when the Colts played the Jets. And Sam Darnold was running for his life the entire time, but he's able to make plays outside the pocket and he just does things that make you go, wow. Now, if he can rein it in and start being more consistent, and the thing is, too, with the Panthers, he's got incredible weapons. Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. Like, you can go on and on and on. You guys have great weapons on the outside for him, but the thing is, that offensive line, and as a Colts fan, I think I am traumatized from bad offensive line play because seeing how it just destroyed Andrew Luck's career. And I still, to this day, you always got to wonder how the Colts are going to be different since Andrew Luck retired, what they would have been if that wouldn't have happened. So, and this is kind of giving me flashbacks for Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. That's why I was all in for them taking Penei Sewell instead of Jamar Chase. You got a young franchise quarterback. Your next step is protect him. Build from the inside out. And that's what the Panthers, I think, really need to focus on and do if they want Sam Darnold to succeed.
Kevin.
We've been beating that drum all offseason.
bro, you just summarized like the last 3 months of our podcast, bro.
Bro, like I say, first of all, this is a family show, but we keep it real. This goes out to the Detroit Lions for snatching Penei Sewell out of our hands and taking him and making him a freaking right tackle. So they killed 2 birds with 1 pig. Like, really? Really?
Oh, man.
That's like buying a Bentley and saying, I'm going to put it in the garage so I don't want it to get hurt. Like, what? Oh, God. You know what I'm saying? It's just horrible, but it's
terrible.
I wanted to ask you guys how your first round pick was J.C. Horn, correct? Am I right in that? Okay. How's he been looking in camp? He was one of my top corners coming out, and I thought he's had some dog in him. So I just wondered how he was doing in camp.
Will JaDarius, you want to take that?
Can I go first since I've been there? Can I go first since I've been there a little bit?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, because I'm 11 for 11 in these practices, so I got 3 left. So
good point.
Complete the cycle. Just from what I'm seeing from a limited defensive background, but number thing I see about him is like ultra competitiveness. Like, he doesn't care who he's lined up against, whether it's DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. The guy. I see a lot of consistency with his effort. Main thing I like about him is the fact that he's consistently aggressive. Is he going to get called for some flags? I'm letting you know now. It depends on the referee crew. If they let us play, he's going to have a hell of a game. If they're going to be tight, it's going to be some tests and trials. But when you say sticky, man-to-man, I got him. Y'all don't worry about him. I got the rest. He's that type of guy. I mean, his ability to, we always talk about Dante Jackson's ability to bait the quarterback and about when he played the off coverage. I think some of that may be rubbing off on JC as well. Now I don't know how much he did in college. I'll let the other two, Will and JaDarius speak on that aspect. But just what I'm seeing in camp is the fact that he's his athleticism and his reaction time is just unbelievable. And the times that he has getting burnt, his recovery time is incredible. Now, has he got smoked a couple times? Yeah. Omar Bayless and Robbie Anderson done took him to school. But like I tell people, though, those one-on-one drills can always favor the offense.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Now, has he got smoked in 11-on-11s? No. So it's a difference. So when we see the one-on-one drills and let's say if he gets smoked by T.Y. Hilton, oh, he's a bum. No, it doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's definitely that one side of the field. I got him. Y'all deal with the rest. He's that type of player. He's a more athletic version of a 2015 Josh Norman for us, is what I see.
Yikes!
With better man ability.
He's probably a breath of fresh air for us. As a Panthers since John Fox to Ron Rivera, we've always been a heavy zone team, heavy cover 3, quarters coverage, hoping that the pass rush can get there to kind of mask the secondary. I think we've been actually one of the most heavy zone teams in the league for like the last 5 or 6 years. I mean, last year, Phil Snow had next to no secondary talent. So, at times he's rushing 3, dropping 8 guys in the coverage. We're giving up chunk plays, and the defense is on the field all game. The offense isn't getting a lot of possessions or a lot of opportunities. And then all of a sudden, where we find ourselves in a close game with the ball on the final drive, like, oh, we're somehow in the game. And it's just, we haven't led all game. We're trying to come back from behind. It's just a very tough way to play defense. So I think with JC, now we got a guy that can play man coverage, mix it up some more. Like Brian Burns, he had 66 pressures, but only, 8 sacks? A lot of that was he had no help from the coverage on the back end. So now if we can make the quarterback go through his second, third progression, maybe he has that extra split second he needs to get those sack totals up. Same for the other defensive linemen. So I'm excited to see what additional flexibility he brings to the defensive scheme. I'm just tired of seeing this heavy zone defense we've been running, giving up 8 chunk plays, 8 yards here, 12 yards there, 14 yards there. It's just been tough to watch.
It sucks. I think the most underrated thing about JC Horn, and you see a lot of people talking about the Panthers becoming more multiple, more versatile. I think JC Horn may have been one of the most versatile corners in the draft class last year, in that he faces different kind of receivers and you don't have to move them off. If you look at versus Florida, same game, you'll see him versus Atlanta's top pick, 6'5", 245-pound tight end that's running.
That monster. Yeah,
you got him in the same game. Yep. He's covering their slot receiver that was drafted in the second round. So it's like you got a big body guy. He's covering the same game. He can shift over and cover the shifty slot guy. Same, no drop off. That is super underrated because now we don't have to worry about moving Dante from person to person because he's over here versus Mike Evans. That's a mismatch. He's a big body guy, but we can now just put JC Horn on that guy and have Dante do whatever he got to do on the other side. It's like it's so underrated now that you don't have to play matchups versus size. Do we give up a little bit of size for speed here? You get all that in JC.
Facts. Yeah. So that's how we feel.
I'm excited about him as far as his prospects for you guys. I thought he was really good player. Like I said, plays really good man coverage and has great instincts. And if you, especially in a team that if you're going to play a lot of man, you need to have guys that are sticky. And I think with the Colts, their personnel really fits that like that. We don't play a lot of just strict cover 2, but it's more of that Tampa 2. The Colts like to be in zone a lot. And I think that's why Xavier Rhodes has seen a kind of a renaissance with Indianapolis, because Xavier Rhodes in Minnesota was asked to follow around the number 1 wide receiver all the way around the field. Well, as you get older, that's just, I mean, Father Time's undefeated. You can't keep that up. So when he comes to the Colts, he's asked to use his instincts more, asked to sit back in that zone coverage, kind of pass things off to someone else. But then he's also able to, because he is a former All-Pro, former Pro Bowler, that vet, he can use those instincts, really break on the ball. He's a great guy in run support. And you saw Xavier Rhodes have an incredible year last year. So a lot of it is scheme. Whatever scheme you're in is going to be a huge help. That's not only for corners, that's for quarterbacks, for wide receivers, running backs. It's every position. What kind of scheme is just so vital to your success in the NFL?
Facts. And if you'll notice the comment there at the bottom of the screen, that's our other podcaster, Mr. 4MR Smooth, aka Larry himself. And he say, man, yeah, bro. I mean, it's facts.
He's taking Jacob Easton over Sam Darnold. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I would pick Sam Darnold over Jacob Easton at this point. I mean, Jacob Easton might not even be the best of the backup quarterbacks. I mean, today Jacob Easton and Sam Ellinger split reps. I still think Jacob Easton will end up winning the if Carson Wentz can't play week 1 or week 2 or however long he's out. I still think that Jacob Easton will end up winning that competition, but Sam Ellinger has done enough in his time against the second team defense that the Colts want to give him a look as well. So today was the first day in training camp that Jacob Easton and Sam Ellinger split the first team reps today. And then just so happens Jacob Easton goes out and probably has his best day of the entire camps period. So that lights a fire under him and allows him to go out and prove it and really start to see him start stacking good days on good days. I mean, I'm all for it, but it's gonna, as of right now, Sam Ellinger has closed that gap on Jacob Easton, and we have a little bit of a quarterback competition for technically the backup, but possibly the starter in Indianapolis.
I know.
Hey, for a second or third round pick, we get y'all PJ Walker back.
Hey,
I think PJ Walker was cut like a record 12 or 15 times from the Colts when Andrew Luck was here, just going from the practice squad to off the practice squad. I mean, it was crazy.
What I remember about Jacob Easton, he wasn't the most mobile guy, but his arm talent in college, one of the best in the draft class. I think if he was just had a little bit more athletic upside and potential, he would have been drafted a lot higher than he was.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the kid's got a howitzer on his right shoulder. He can sling the pill like nothing I've ever seen before. The thing with Jacob Easton is just, you're exactly right, that it's the mental aspect of his game. He isn't the best. He has some mobility in the pocket, but it's really the mental aspect of the game. Because when you think about it, Jacob Easton in the last 4 years has played one full season of football. Because when he was a sophomore at Georgia, he got injured. Jake Fromm took his spot, and he never regained it. Transferred to Washington, had to sit out that year. Played the full season at Washington, and then gets drafted to the Colts last year, and he sits third on the depth chart behind Phillip Rivers and Jacoby Brissett. Phil's taking all the first-team reps. Jacoby Brissett's running the scout team. Jacob Easton is getting 0 reps in practice. So he would stay after practice with then quarterback coach, now offensive coordinator Marcus Brady, just to get those extra reps in. So really, Jacob Easton is still very raw. He's got incredible physical features and physical talent. 6'6", 231, incredible arm talent. But it's just that mental processing, getting acclimated to the speed of the game, and really making sure you deliver those passes and those decisions at the time that you need. Now with Sam Ellinger, it's kind of the opposite. Sam Ellinger is a little bit smaller, about 6'1", 220. He doesn't necessarily have, I'll be honest, he really doesn't have great arm talent, but he's very aggressive, quick decision maker, very mobile. And Sam Ellinger started 4 years at Texas, so he has a lot of starting experience in college, while Jacob Easton doesn't. So they're kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum, and now they're kind of meeting together. So I think from what I've seen, Jacob Easton has the higher ceiling, but Sam Ellinger probably right now is the more consistent and the more NFL-ready quarterback. But are you going to go with the higher ceiling, or are you going to go with a guy that's probably not – his ceiling would probably be Jacoby Brissett and Sam Ellinger. And Colts fans have already gone through that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Before you go, Drew, could you touch on this comment, and then there's another one I would like for you to comment on.
Yeah, so an early record prediction for the Colts, it's tough because it all really depends on if Carson Wentz comes back. And all indications are things are going well. So I'll say if Carson Wentz is healthy for a full season, I think this Colts team can make a lot of noise. Now, as far as Carson Wentz is concerned, I don't think he's going to start out hot. I think it's going to take some time, especially missing this preseason. There's going to be growing pains. But I think we're going to see, as for the Colts, kind of something we did last year. Phillip Rivers didn't start out hot, but about that middle of the year, it started to click, and Phillip Rivers really started to come on. This Colts team really started to come on. So I think the Colts, if with a healthy Carson Wentz and under Frank Reich, I think all the pieces can come together, and the Colts can win the division. I really think it's going to come down to Tennessee and Indy last couple weeks of the season. My early prediction is probably 11-6, as if all goes well and Carson Wentz is healthy and stays healthy throughout the year. If not, and it just kind of depends how many he misses, I think their floor, if Carson Wentz is injured, could probably be around the 6-11 record to 7-10, something like that. Because if you are dealing with Jacob Easton or Sam Ellinger, it's not going to be pretty, especially when the first 5 games the Colts have. Seattle comes to town, then the Rams come to town, then you have at Tennessee, at Miami, and at Baltimore on Monday night. That's tough. That's a tough start for the games that Carson Wentz is playing, let alone if it's Jacob Easton or Sam Ellinger. So it's really just the season is going to go how Carson Wentz takes them. Colts have a lot of the pieces around them. It's just the quarterback that we need. And if we have a healthy Carson Wentz, I think we can do it. Otherwise, it's going to be a rough road.
And the last comment, obviously, is from our man Larry, and like you just mentioned, man. I mean, between you and Tennessee, who knows? Because that's smash mouth football between you guys right there. So, yeah, and that's how we roll in North Carolina. But might be a little different this year with DJ and Robbie and all these tools that our OC has at his fingertips now, man. And I know Kevin's seeing some good things from our receiver core down there. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I really am a big fan of Matt Rule. I think you guys nailed it with Matt Rule as a head coach. He's building it the right way. He's a guy that really respects culture, and I don't think culture is really talked about enough in the NFL. This isn't fantasy football. This isn't Madden. You need guys that are all in and are unselfish for one another. And I think that's what Chris Ballard and Frank Reich have done in Indianapolis. They completely have remade this team into a team that is selfless. Guys want to play for each other. Guys hold each other accountable. And they work hard, and everyone's just not very selfish. I mean, T.Y. Hilton, he was hardly getting the ball thrown to him last year. Didn't make a sound. So, and I think with Matt Rule building that culture where these guys want to work hard, they want to be together. I think that's really good for you guys, and it bodes well for the rebuild for you guys getting a sustainable team in the future. And then your draft picks have just been, I mean, Brian Burns, stud. I'm really a big fan of J.C. Horn. And it's really all going to come down to the quarterback, like every team in the NFL. If Sam Darnold can step it up, I mean, there's still rumblings that the Panthers are still looking at Deshaun Watson trades. So who knows what's going to happen there? But,
I'm sure
they're out there. The rumors are real.
But
the rumors are real.
You guys got a young nucleus that I think you should be excited about. And if you guys, Matt Rule keeps building that culture, I think it'll be a pretty good team before too long.
Yeah, we agree, man. We agree. It's gonna be fun. And folks, what time's the game Sunday?
1:00. I'll be there. I've got season tickets for the Colts, so I'll be in Lucas Oil Stadium checking it all out.
Ooh yeah. That's what's up, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew, and Drew, I got your information from the TPPN, so I'll
awesome.
I'll put that on the link when we post this bad boy.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, check us out at The Educated Fan if you're looking for some Colts content. I'm also a writer for Sports Illustrated at the Horseshoe Huddle, so if you want to check out some written content, check it out there as well. So really appreciate the opportunity to be on with you guys. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully it can be on again sooner. You guys can come on our podcast. That'd be great.
Okay, great.
Love to, man. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing. I didn't know if y'all discussed this before I got on, but I think the position group that's going to surprise a lot of folks. It's going to be our tight end group. That Donald to Arnold connection is something serious. Yeah. Just me keeping track, and I'm just a stat nerd like that, Andrew. And I take it for what it is, 7 on 7s and 11 on 11s, but they've connected 9 times in the end zone, And wow. Tommy Tremble, I know he's got the niche of just being only a blocking tight end. He had a couple of drops when we had the little Saturday night practice first week, but the kid can catch, and the kid knows how to get open. But my favorite unsung, little-known player that's quietly just been doing this little dirty work and at the tight end position I like is Colin Thompson, number 86. He's somebody he's probably our best blocking tight end out the group, but he also runs route and get open. He creates some issues if he's utilized properly. So at the tight end being virtually non-existent, I see us having the type of talent there that folks may forget about and are going to get gashed, until they realize, they got tight ends in Carolina along with everything else. Now you got something to worry about. But that Dan Arnold, 6'6". Now I'm saying this with all due respect. I'm not saying he's like him, but he gives me Greg Olsen vibes when he's running routes, and I'll just leave it at that.
Clean route runner.
I'm a big fan of Tommy Tremble. I really am, and I think the way he was used at Notre Dame, more as a blocker. I mean, the kid's got untapped potential. I mean, a very smart kid. The kid works very hard. I'm a Notre Dame football fan, so that's kind of my team. And you just see him and you hear everything from Brian Kelly and what the coaches have said. I think that kid is going to surprise a lot of people. And I mean, all the attention in this class goes to Kyle Pitts, but Tommy Tremble blocking, and then he's going to end up being a do-everything tight end, kind of like a Jack Doyle for the Indianapolis Colts. He may not be a game breaker like a Travis Kelce or a Darren Waller, but he's going to be a guy that when you ask him to block, he's going to do everything and do it well. And then it's going to be a third down situation. Tommy Tremble's going to just take it on a 3rd and 9. He's going to take it 10 yards, and you're going to keep going. So I really think that's a good fit for him, and he's going to be pretty productive as far as making winning plays for the Panthers.
Right on. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew, we appreciate you coming by, bro. Of course, we'll see you in the chat.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
No doubt, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
Andrew, what's your Twitter handle?
My Twitter handle is @AndrewMooreSI.
Andrew
Moore. Oh, yeah, cool. It's right there. Yeah.
There we go.
Right on the screen.
My man.
All right. You just got another follow.
Awesome. I appreciate it, my guy.
Yes,
thanks,
sir.
Andrew, man. We'll holler at you, bro.
Absolutely. Take it easy, guys.
All right.
Right on, man. That was cool.
Right, real nice.
So, hey, this is the benefits of being a part of a whole network of football podcasters, man. We're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff for y'all, man. For my rest, we're doing it, boy. Doing it. And Kevin's gonna have Sherrod Martin, right?
Yeah, former Panther safety Sherrod Martin. Yeah,
folks, we got some shit coming for you. I'm telling you, boy, y'all know.
It's gonna quit next week for the post games.
Yeah. I mean, we could have his podcast partner on here if he's not able just to have a clean face on here instead of Andrew. We'll have Brandon on.
Right.
So man,
yeah. And at camp day, Sheena said her schedule really winds down. If we want to have her on to make up what she missed with our Vashti, she said she'll love to come back on. So we can have Miss Sheena Quick come on and give us that quick on the block aspect of it. So
right on. That's 4MR Skate 20. That's the code. Punch that in on your way out when you check out after you get all your goodies. And there you go, man. And enjoy keeping your ball sack in tip-top shape.